It's us two, we good. Sis N Lil Bro, it's your favorite duo.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sis, aka Selena Lena from Sis N Lil Broments. Welcome to me and my brother's podcast. This is the very second episode. I am here with some friends on set. Y'all say what's up? What's up? And for our very second episode of Sis N Lil Broments, we are going to talk about a very important topic of what does it mean to be a true friend. So Sis N Lil Broments is where we have conversations with one another, whether we're strangers, colleagues, friends, and we just talk about life, God, music, and everything in between. So let's talk.
Hi everyone, I'm Katie. I work as a nurse and I'm really excited to be on this podcast today. I've never been on one, so thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Hello everyone, my name is Cynthia and I'm too very excited to be here. This is also my first podcast. For work, I work as a project management specialist. So yeah, thank you.
Hi, my name is Tay. I am a content creator and that's it, right? Yeah.
Hello, my name is Meek and for work I am an accountant for United Healthcare.
Hi, my name is Sajira. I'm employee engagement and office assistant / event coordinator at a ministry called Pulse.
Hey y'all, I'm Daisha, but I like to go by Daisy. I am an artist, I am a choreographer and an instructor, and I'm also a full-time mom, and I take pride in that.
Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Garcia, and I am a full-time college student, and I'm also a content creator.
Yo, what's poppin', my ninja? My name is Pierre, and I love life, love Jesus, and I love the art.
I'm gonna pass it on to my brother, Titus, aka Lil Bro. Let him say what's up to y'all. He's joining us virtually.
What's up, you guys? Like Selena said, I'm Titus, aka Lil Bro. And first, I just want to say thank you guys for coming out and being a part of the conversation. This is fairly new. Like tonight, the topic is about true friends and what that really is. So we're gonna forfeit the icebreaker today just so we can get straight into the conversation. But again, just want to thank you guys for coming out. Feel free to be open, transparent. We really want to connect with you guys and just have an open-ended conversation.
So the very first question is, what is a true friend? I mean, that's the topic that we're talking about today. And so we're all young adults, you know what I'm saying? We've been through life, we've been through college. We've had a lot of situations where people have left us, we've had drama. Some of us are flying solo dolo right now. So the very first question that I want us to answer is, where are you right now socially in your life? Like, do you have a best friend? Do you have a couple best friends? Are you chilling by yourself? Like, are you just like, forget everybody because they did me wrong, I'm just focused on me? Where are you at socially?
I just moved and I just graduated college, and so I'm kind of in a space of just positive isolation. It's a good spot, like, because it allows me to be kind of out the way. It allows me to reflect honestly about who's around, who's not around. If I call someone, can they do something for me, or can they not do something for me, or if I don't call anyone, who's calling to check up on me? Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I'm like, it's a little lonely, but I got my dog, so it's cool. But other than that, I would say that I'm in a really particular space right now when it comes to socially, because I'm in a space where the friends that I have currently, I love them, but they're not where I want to go. And I don't know how many of them are on a day-to-day basis thinking or doing things that what we talk about as far as like being the same mindset as like our aspirations or goals or where we see ourselves. But as far as like what I do for work, it's like, okay, I don't really know these people, but I need to know these people so I can, use them as a resource so I can learn the things I need to learn at work. So it's really interesting where I'm at. It's like, I got friends, I don't got friends, like, I don't know.
But I like how you said positive isolation, because a lot of people think that when you're isolated, it's all bad, but that's just one perspective.
It's how you look at it, really.
Right.
So, and I'm just choosing to look at it with a very optimistic and growth mindset.
I feel that.
I feel like I'm kind of in the same space. I'm in this weird gray area of isolation, and trying not to let it seep into depression, and also I like to party. So it's weird. You know, I think right now I just became a single mom and you know, I've lost a lot of friends, but like you said, it's all about your perspective of things. And I just see this as, you know, I don't know if you guys know Jim Carrey. He's like crazy. People think he's crazy, but to me, it's a good kind of crazy. He had this concept where he talked about depression as like a state of deep rest. You're going into this mode where you're alone, and from the outside in, it looks sad and, you know, like lonely, but it's a time where you can connect with your higher self, with God, and it's just a very sanctioned time for you to recharge and reboot. Because if you can't reprogram yourself and take care of yourself and show up for yourself, there's no way you're going to be able to go out in public and show up for an event or show up for whatever it is you want to do in the world or change of the world or whatever. So I just admire this time, honestly. It's been hard, but it's all about what I train my mind to believe, which is a lot easier when I'm by myself. I don't have any outside influences or people telling me what they think about what's best for me. Yeah, I'm just rebooting, reprogramming, and you know, I have friends. I have a good little 2 friends. I say if you have more than one, you're doing real good in my book. Honestly, one of them better be yourself. You better be your own friend. But yeah. That's me.
What's that 50 Cent song? If I was your best friend, I want you around all the time. Yeah. All right, when I grew up, I realized I did not want my friend around all the time. Okay. And then when the pandemic hit, then I was like, oh, so this is what it's like not to have my friends around. We can't even be around each other if we wanted to all the time. And that's like, for me, has been the biggest difference between college and graduating from college is we went to the same classes in college. We went to the same activities. We spent the weekends the same way. Like then going into our careers post-college, discovering what that meant. I'm not working where you work, so I'm not gonna see you 5 days a week. I might even see you on the weekend depending on where I gotta be because of work. So it was like time and distance did not dictate who was my friend. And I had to really like mature into realizing that just because we don't see each other all the time now, just because we don't talk to each other all the time now, like it's not a season for that, it doesn't mean we're not friends. And for me, like knowing a person was my friend was when I picked up that phone and we like left, like we started right where we left off. Mm-hmm. There was no shift in their feelings. There was no shift in their perspective. It was like, hey bro, hey sis, yo, So that for me, that's what it was like. Where I'm at right now was just reconciling that seasons change, but friends remain, so.
I heard some good points in there, but y'all keep going. It's good. I'm at so.
Well, actually, bro, I want to hear where you're at as far as where's your friends. Yeah.
I'll answer the question and I'll lead into just another way of asking it. So for me, I would say I'm one of those people who's pretty, what do they call it? Independent, I guess. Self-contained. I'm not so outgoing in the sense that I'm just trying to meet everybody and go make friends with everybody. It's cool to have friends, and we'll talk about this later, but I think Meek spoke on it earlier, but like people that are in your same mind space and have goals, surrounding yourself with people like that, I think that's important. So for me, with all the things I have going on, whether it be music or basketball or school, it's hard for me to just be a college student when most of my peers that I might go to class with are not athletes on the basketball team like me. So it'd be like, hey, come hang out with us. What are you doing this Saturday, Sunday? But I got games. So you can't relate with everybody. So for me, it's really just trying to find friends who understand the lifestyle that I have and what I'm seeking and what I'm looking forward to and what I'm working for. And that can be a bad thing sometimes because sometimes you lose friends that you might want to have. But at the same time, it could be a good thing because you're surrounding yourself with people who also have the same work ethic and so on and so forth. So with that being said, I would ask, as far as just like Selena said, harping back on socially where you are you happy with the friends that you have? Are you yearning for more friends? Like, what does that look like in you all situation? Do you ever, I know somebody else spoke on it, I don't remember her name, but is it at a point where you are getting nearly depressed where you're looking for friends? And like, what does that look like for some of you guys?
So I have kind of been in this season of I'm kind of yearning for more friends, to be honest. I have my wonderful fiance who's my best friend, and then childhood best friend who's ride or die. But otherwise, it's very hard in your 20s to find solid friendships. And I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but I've been out of college for 2 years. And at least I'm involved in a church group. But other than that, it's kind of like after college, people take so many different paths. I have people who are mothers, who are wives, husbands now, who are traveling, who are just killing it in their career. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to find people like-minded who are also, for me, following Christ and pursuing that, because I think community is so important, and iron sharpens iron when you have those solid people. So yeah, I'm always looking for new friends. And just one more thing, social media completely warps friendships, in my opinion. You can have all the followers you want, but still be the most lonely person. People like pictures, but they never check up on you. And I think that's something that people need to get in their minds, that checking in on your friends is so important. Even if they are in a really happy season where they look really happy, I can tell you firsthand, wedding planning has been stressful, and not many people have completely checked up on me about that. So yeah, so it's definitely, I have those friends, but I'm always looking for more. And yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
So if you're looking for someone to be your friend, Katie from Minnesota.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, thank you for being real about that.
Yeah, of course.
That's real.
We can be friends.
Yes.
Aww.
I really resonate with a lot of what you've just said and a lot of what everybody has said. In terms of me socially, I think that's something that I definitely started to reflect on in the beginning of this year, because I realized that for me, I'm someone that's such a giver and a people pleaser as well. And so all of last year, I was standing in the gaps of a lot of my relationships with my friends and even my family members. And I realized by the end of the year, I was completely depleted. I was not taking anything from anyone. If I had a problem, I was solving it on my own. And so I came to the decision that I actually needed that positive isolation. I needed to take a step back and really evaluate what I'm giving to other people and what other people are giving to me. And sometimes I feel like we're led to be thinking that that's such a selfish thing to do. You should always be giving, you should always be out there helping. But I liked what you said, that you can't give what you don't have inside. You always have to take care of yourself. And so that's something that I've taken this time to do. But then that also kind of crosses with what you said, because I think, okay, where are the other 24-year-olds? Where do they hang out?
Right.
It's definitely not at my church. I don't see them. It's not at church. And so it's so no, seriously, y'all, where are you guys? I don't know where anybody is. And so that's why something like a function like this is just so important. And thank you, Selena, for bringing us all together, and your brother as well, because then we're able to see other people who are like-minded, And just for context, this is the second time I'm meeting Selena. I met her on New Year's Eve, and because my sister was talking to her, and super random, and I wasn't even supposed to go out that night, so I'm so grateful to God that, we were able to cross paths, and I'm here now speaking on this podcast. This is so crazy, but...
It is crazy. It is crazy.
But yeah, I think those two things. And then you said, are you happy? I think I'm happy. I think maybe in the beginning of the year I was a little bit sad, because you come to that realization and you're like, dang, I really did that to myself, But I think now I'm very happy, and I'm excited for my next step in building new relationships with other people, and even building on top of the relationships that I had, and understanding how much I can be able to give and how much I should be receiving as well.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. When I tell you I love this space that I'm in, it does get lonely, but it definitely has shown me a lot about myself and not looking for validation towards others. And what you said was people throwing their little things inside of what you want to do, that can be so dangerous. So sometimes I feel like it's necessary to be on your own so you can really let whatever it is that needs to get out, especially as a young artist. It is so good for you to spend time with your work and like what you're doing and focus on what you want to put out and who are you? Like, what do I like to do? Like, I just found out that I really do like hash browns and eggs for breakfast, a little scramble. I would have never known that had I just taken some time. Like, it's simple as that, but being happy, you know, with where you are and no validation from anybody else. Ain't nobody going, you like onions in your scramble? That's nasty. Like, and it ain't always negative, but it's like, dang, let me eat my scramble.
I do want to say, you're having a great conversation when you form new questions from people's answers. You can come with a script, you can come with your own questions and have your pre-plan, but you guys are having great conversation. And me and Selena don't even have to really go back to the questions that we had planned for you guys because you're kind of creating your own conversation. So I encourage you guys to keep doing that. We're loving the conversation. That being said, somebody brought something up earlier about being in different headspaces than someone else. So this is a two-part question, but how do you combat having friends that you love, friends that you support, friends that you want to be friends with, even though they don't have the same goals as you, even though they're in a different headspace as you, even though they have a different mindset? And you're a Christian, how are you selective with your friends? Does God play a part in that? Does that not really matter? Let's talk about that.
Can I tear that up really quick?
Tear it up.
Because no. That's such a good question. It is so, like, it can be really hard, you know, when you don't know how to navigate certain things and like, but I try to look at, there's a basis that I think everybody has, kind of like, you know, your own moral compass, right? And I kind of look for people who are going to steer me in the right direction, you know, like based on for myself. So when they listen to me, I pay attention. Do you listen for me? Or do you listen for you and what you would do? You know, and I can really appreciate somebody who's open-minded in that way. And so that's something that I really like to see in my friendships, like just not putting your agenda off on me, you know, in that way. And like, we could be going completely different ways, but we can motivate each other. You know, like, do you check in? And like, if you know that, for instance, I just told Selena I'm writing on a book. So like, eventually the next time she talks to me, it might be, how's your book going? Right. How are you doing with that? And me and Selena are in completely different, like, not, you know, like, we're just not doing the same thing, right. You know, but like when she sees me, she checks in with everything that I have going on. Like, I was able to, I want to start rapping. And so I sent Selena a video of myself freestyling and she was like really on board for that, you know, like we're doing other things, but being able to give that positive feedback, even if we're in different places and, you know, like just being able to tell me when you feel like I'm right or when I'm wrong, you know, even though we're on different spaces, I feel like it really could work. I don't think that the people that you have for you need to be in the same exact space. We don't need to be in the same exact career field, but like morally, are we on the same page? You know, in that way, or like, do we agree on basic things? Like you shouldn't do this to somebody, or like, say you tell your friend like, yeah, I got into it with this person and I smacked him, you know? And it's like, is your friend gonna be like, yeah, you should have whooped that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or is they gonna say, friend, like, that's not even like you. What happened? How did you get there? Like, you know, and they don't shame you for doing what you did if you made a bad decision, but it's like, that don't even sound like something you would do. So how did you get there? Like, are you okay? What's up, you know?
That's good. I would, when you say that, it reminds me, a lot of the connections that I have now, when I went off to college, I went to Liberty University, which is in Virginia, to play ball. And it was a Christian-based school, so a faith-based school. And one of the things our coaches would say all the time is that it's hard because you got playing time and stuff like that with players, so it's hard to keep everybody satisfied. But he would always say, if our relationship is based on how much I play you, then we probably don't have a relationship, because oftentimes we're just, it's in human nature and natural just to look for a reward out of something. And I would say that's more transactional. But when you actually check in on people and you're genuinely having conversations and interested about what they got going on, and you're seeking out their agenda, and it's vice versa, and you're just receiving good energy, then that's more transformational. So from what you said, it just reminded me of that transactional versus transformational. And I think that's really important in friendships.
To answer the broad question of this entire podcast, what I think friendship is what you make it. You know, we all have situations where like, oh, this person was toxic, so I'm going to cut them off. Okay, well, maybe you should rephrase and ask yourself, what did I do? Like, am I just failing to communicate in this situation? Am I failing to ask the right questions? You know, because it's not always that the person is toxic. It's just simply that they're at a different level than you are. And maybe you were placed in that person's life to elevate them. But it has to be in a safe zone where you're not draining yourself and you're not allowing this person to leech off of you. I also don't like the concept that like most relationships are kind of like what your brother was saying about this transactional idea, you know, like I'm here, I'm present, I you know, God gives me strength every day, and that is enough. Like that itself is valuable, you know, and when it comes to setting yourself in the right environments with the right people, trying to make the right connections to build on where it is you want to be, I think we can find value in every single interaction we make. Even if it's the simplest thing, you're at the gas station and you're speaking with the cashier, you know, that's a business transaction on a whole different level because you're gaining the experience of communication, you know, because like if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be a business owner, you have to know how to target several different audiences of people. That's just one example, but I just feel like we all have value. I think with me personally, like I went through this crazy roller coaster with my relationships with people that we no longer talk. And is it because I didn't have anything to offer to them? Like, was I not like important enough? But obviously that took a lot of soul searching. I had to like, you know, deal with myself. After all of that, you know, just like what you were saying with the foundation, the basis of it all is that God is in each and every one of us. He lives within each and every one of us. And that is our value, you know, and whatever happens outside of that is nature. It's natural. It happens. I think it's nothing, you know, toxic situations and relations, I don't think it's ever a waste of time because I think that's where most, you know, lessons are. That's where they are, you know, that's where they reside. If everything is just peachy and you're, you know, getting everything perfectly aligned, I don't know. Like, that's the goal, obviously. We obviously want alignment, but you got to go through the grit to actually show up for the alignment, you know, to actually be successful and actually be present in your purpose. So, yeah, I just went a lot of different directions there. But, yeah.
For me, purpose determines proximity. So we're talking about what if you have friends that don't have the same goals as you, aren't going in the same trajectory as you, then for me, you won't be that close to me versus other friends that do, right? So if I'm playing basketball and I know I'm in the middle of a basketball season and you're playing golf, we're not going to hang out that much, right? You're swinging, I'm shooting. That's two different things, right? Off season, maybe cool if I'm not training and you're not training. See, now we're getting to this place where now I'm in my purpose and I have to stay focused and I have to train for my purpose and be dedicated to this purpose. And my friendship with you is not determined by where our purposes drive us. My friendship with you is on a heart level, it's more felt, it's spiritual. So we don't have to be in the same physical place to know that spiritually we're friends. But then that goes into, I love when Jesus told Peter, "Get behind me, Satan." But he just told that to someone who was the only one out of 12 that recognized Jesus for who he truly was. He didn't say, "You're no longer my friend." And so why did he say, "Get behind me, Satan"? Jesus was communicating to his disciples, I have to take the cross to bring about this revolution. And Jewish messiahs, you're not supposed to die. You're not supposed to be crucified. A dead messiah is no messiah in the Jewish community. So when he was saying the way that I have to bring about this revolution is my death, Peter was like, "God forbid, we can't, there's got to be another way." And so he was like, "Yo, bro, no, get behind me." And we have to have that when we're talking about our purpose and we're talking about allowing God to be a part of who we allow to follow us and who we allow ourselves to follow. And so as a believer, for me, that's very important, that the persons that I connect with, that they do have a God center when it comes to how close I connect with them. I can connect with anybody. As a believer, we're supposed to love everybody. And it says you get no reward, you get no merit, you get no cool points for loving your friend. It's when God sees you can love your enemy that he's like, yeah, now you're doing it for real. That's the revolution. So that means family, friend, enemy, I'm supposed to love you. But that don't mean I gotta be close to you. And then that is the biggest difference, is the purpose determines proximity. And some folks may be able to recognize who I am, but if they don't agree to where I'm going, we can't walk together. Peter had to agree with Jesus eventually to be considered a friend of Jesus. It wasn't the other way around. So a true friend is not going to push you off of your alignment. They're not going to ask me to play golf knowing I'm in the middle of basketball season, in other words.
Thank you for that. I do want to just answer the question too, because I like what you said when you say when you have friends, like it's about respecting each other's space. So I got a lot of different friends who are spiritually in different places. You know, I got homegirls that I know from middle school, you know what I'm saying? And yes, like, you know, they believe in God. And I'm not going to speak for them, but like when it comes to my friends, I'll say that I have different types. So for my best friend, like me and her, I know that I can go to a certain level with her. Like that's like somebody that I can pray with, you know what I'm saying? Like spiritually, we're on kind of the same page, so I can just go there with her spiritually. You know, other friends I'll go out with and we'll have a good time, you know what I'm saying? And then I have a artist friend, Jameer K. Golden. If you search him up, like literally you'll be like, Selena and him are friends, because our music is it's about completely different things. We have completely different personalities, but this is a childhood best friend that I grew up with. And we still hang out to this day. And it's just like, some people will ask, even from like other Christians may be asking or wondering, like, you know, how could you be friends with somebody that like, you know, just isn't spiritually on the same page as you? And it's just like, you know, the reason is because he knows what I stand for, and I'm not going to shy away from what I believe in or what I stand for. And as long as you can respect that, you feel me? Like we can be friends. And this is me personally, how I feel. But like when I pray to God and stuff, like he knows my heart, and just being by myself, like of course, for me personally, like I want all my friends to come to Christ. Because I've experienced him in a real way. Like I want all my friends to be saved, because I truly do believe that like there's one God. And, you know, I've had that confirmation for me personally. Am I gonna force it on somebody? No, I'm not, because God gave us free will. If they ask me for advice, I'm gonna give it to them the way that I, you know, just spiritually believe, and they can take it or leave it. Yeah, that's how I'm able to be friends with different people, is because they know where I stand and I don't push a certain agenda on them. I just want to say this too. I'm not one of them Christians that walk around in the city and be like, you know, are you saved? And the person says, no, you're going to hell. First of all, how do you know that person is not going to continue to walk in a journey and meet God? First of all, I don't like, that's not a loving energy. That's not Jesus's energy. Right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just feel like I had to say that.
Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I just really quick? Okay, first of all, Jesus was with everybody. Right. Like, everybody knows this, but Jesus was with everybody. He was like, yeah, actually, you know that girl, she got like a whole bunch of husbands. Yeah, she my friend. I'm cool with her. You know, like why? I don't understand why that's so hard for people to pick up, you know, and especially I think people struggle with that a lot in Christianity, for sure. You know, like I've known some real religious people in my life, and I'm like, so you mean to tell me you read the whole Bible and that's what you got out of there? Really? And then also too, like certain things that we judge other people by, like before Jesus died, Jesus said greater things. A lot of people we forget, and I feel like we ruffle a few feathers with this one, but a lot of people forget we're equal to Jesus. God brought himself here as a human being so he could show us the way and what it meant to be as a human being. Jesus always gave the glory back to God. Jesus was never like, yeah, I'm that man for real. Like, it's me. Jesus was like, so my dad said that this is what we got to do. You can come with me if you want to, or you're going to kind of find out about some other stuff. But either way, it's fine. whatever you want to do, but this is where I'm going. You know, and then people saw that for themselves, and I feel like we have to understand, because one thing about it, whether other people are spiritual or not, when something goes down that they cannot explain, they always go back to their spiritual friend. It is just the truth. It happens all the time. So sometimes I feel like we need to slow down and let that opportunity come to us, because it happens. You know, like, God is real and we know that. And so sometimes it's weird to me when we try to force him down other people's throats, because it's like Jesus didn't do that. People witnessed Jesus and they were like, did you see that? Yeah, let me go over there. And then he was like, oh, for sure. It's actually it's God. That's it, you know? So I feel like we just really get.
So we've been talking a lot about how other people can be a friend to us, you know, but I just want you to take a deep breath real quick and think about yourself, okay? And we want to ask the question to y'all of how, like, be honest. How are you as a friend?
I can start with this one, but sorry, did you?
No, I was just gonna say, like,
yeah, go ahead.
Also think about, like, what do other people say that you do well as a friend, and how can you improve on that?
Okay, so being in this time of reflection for myself, this is something that I've definitely be asking myself this from literally the first day of this year. And I feel like for me, I try to show up for others in the way that I would want somebody to show up for me. And that comes in knowing the person. Like, you know your friends. Like, you know the people who want you to lecture them. You know the people who want you to, like, just sit there and just listen to them and have them work out their issues. You know the people who just want you to just be there, like, just physically there. They don't want to talk to you. They just want you physically there. And so for me, especially when I'm building a new relationship with someone, I really try and understand what they need in a friend. And then I try and see if that lines up with something that I can be able to provide for them. Because sometimes you can't. Sometimes, you know, people come into your life and, you know, they need someone to really rant to, but you have your own issues going on and you can't give them your full attention. And so that friendship, you see, at that time, it will not work out. When you're first meeting someone, you know, you're trying your best, you know, you spend time with them and you give them your all, but there's always something that happens that draws you apart. And I truly believe that that's God. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And if it's not meant to be, you will know, because after some time, you either don't connect again or you don't feel that there's the same energy. And so with that, for me, like, in my time of reflection right now with my friends, I think moving forward, I just want to continue trying to see what other people need, and if I'm able to provide that need for them, and if I'm not, having the courage to say that, you know, at this time, I don't think I can be able to provide that for you, you know, and being a good friend in that way and being honest with them so that they don't see that you failed them as a friend.
I just want to put out there, I'm a recovering superficial friend. You see, I don't text nobody back on Christmas. I don't text nobody back on New Year's Day. I don't text nobody back for Thanksgiving. To my head, not my heart, I've had to accept that I will fail you and that you will fail me. And I am recovering from my superficial, I'm a Minnesotan, so I perfected being friendly, right? While failing as a friend. I know how to be friendly real quick. But that text back, or the timing of the text, you just poured your heart out and it says, I read it, and word. That's my response to the novel you just sent me. I'm working on it. Forgive me.
That's honest. Titus, you want to transition us out with a final question?
Yeah. I'm not going to summarize it because I know everybody gave some great points and obviously offered some really good stuff. But yeah, the question is just back to the main question if it hasn't been answered yet. And then on top of that, what would I know the last question that people were answering was about themselves as their own friend. How are they as a friend? What about others? What do you expect from your best friend? So, two-part question here. What's a true friend? If you haven't answered that, feel free to answer that. And then what would you expect from a true friend or from your best friend? And I'll go first. And there's no perfect answer. I think that you can go on and on about it, but just based on the conversation we had today, I can agree on a lot of things, and it's the mutual respect. When you have respect for another person and what they do, and they have respect for you and what you do, and you know how to respect each other's space, each other's time, each other's pursuits, I think that's a necessity in a friendship. So I think the mutual respect is one of them. And then, like I said earlier, the transformational part, actually being genuinely interested in somebody to the point where it's not just checking in to say, hey, how are you doing? And then asking them, so I got this new album, can you check it out? Versus, hey, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in a couple years. Like, what's going on in your life? Tell me some more. How can I help? Just offering yourself. So from my best friends, I think in my perspective, or from a true friend, I would look for somebody who's understanding. Like I mentioned earlier, with the stuff that we all have going on in our lives, having someone there to understand what you got going on and be willing to sympathize with you when you're struggling, or be able to give you a word of encouragement when you need that. That's really the mark of a true friend, somebody that really contributes something to you that builds you and not breaks you down.
For me, simply put, what I look for in a friend is somebody who values my presence, someone who knows the difference from when I'm there and when I'm not, because after that, I feel like everything else just kind of comes into place. If you value my presence, you're going to give me the respect I deserve. You're going to listen to me. You're going to be, what it is you have to be to keep me around. Yeah, just value me as a person.
Respect my boundaries.
Call me on my bullshit.
Really respect my boundaries, please. Because, and the ones that I put in place are also so the friendship don't fall out of order. I feel like there needs to be a conversation at the beginning of each friendship that I have where I genuinely take the time to get to know who you are, so that way, kind of somebody said earlier, so I can understand how to be a better friend to you. And that's what I need. I just need genuine conversation. If you do not like something that I do, I don't want to hear about it 3 months after I did it. I'm just going to be honest. Because there's a certain line that we cross where people are like, oh, I felt this way 3 months ago and I just didn't know how to bring it up. And now I'm not even in the same space that I was 3 months ago.
Literally.
So now you're asking me to answer for somebody that quite literally I do not relate to. Especially in this age right now, I'm finding that I'm evolving, and that's not to say I change it up so much that I'm, can't apologize or take accountability for something that I did. But also too, like, I'll let people know, let's start healthy communication right when we feel something is going wrong. Yes. I want to be able to correct it. I get everybody isn't good with confrontation, but like, sidebar, I feel like that's something we all have to get better at, like just in this generation right now. Confrontation doesn't always mean a huge conflict. It does not mean that we have to end everything yelling and screaming at each other. If we can't have a sensible conversation about where we're at right now, and I need genuine honesty, I'm not gonna get mad at you. And also making sure, how much time do you need to say, hey, there's something that I want to bring up to you, but I'm still trying to figure out how to communicate that. Can you give me some time and I'll be ready? And asking them and prepping people, like, don't surprise me with no BS. Right. Just don't, because I'm not going to respond the way you think. And it's not that, like, how do you feel people respond when they're like taken off guard by something like that? Prep your friends for when you're about to let them know, hey, I didn't like what you did. And it actually made me feel this way, especially if you care about the friendship. So for me, that's what I look for in order to be able to move forward. Let's have some real honest communication about where we are with each other at all times.
Take it back now, yeah.
Hey.
I don't know why that just came Right.
You always got that one person.
It's the blackness.
I've come to realize I can't always tell, like, who's a true friend, but time can. Yeah. And time will, and time does. Time will tell who's a true friend. And so I'm learning to be content in that, letting time tell me who's a true friend, letting time tell me if I can be a true friend, because that's the other side to this coin, is like realizing I can't be your true friend right now. Don't have the capacity, don't have the time, I can't text you back without being generic or superficial. I'm not the one. And that freed me from a lot of pressure, realizing I'm not the one. or the 2, or the 10. I'm not none of them. Yo. And so what do I look for in a friend? I don't. I'm not looking, man. I kind of relate, like, it just happens. So that's where I'm at now. I'm not looking for anything in a friend. I think if a person is supposed to be, they will be. If I'm supposed to be, I will be. Like, friendship isn't forced. Friendship isn't, for me, it isn't, where's Waldo? Where's my friend? Like, no, I don't gotta, it just happens, bro. Like, you just, and when it's real, it's real. So time will tell you if it's real.
This has been the second episode of Sis N Lil Broments. I'm your girl, Sis, and...
I was on mute. I'm Lil Bro.
Yeah. So, and then the talking portion has ended, but what makes our podcast really special is that Titus and I, we want to bring a musical element into our conversation. So, you know, on the topic of like friendships and stuff like that, I'll go ahead and spit a little a cappella verse. I'll spit it on our mixtape that we just released at the beginning of this year. So, yeah, it was a remix to Doja Cat and Post Malone's I Like You. So I'll just do my a cappella and then you can do yours. Hold up, wait a minute. I need to hit the gas cause I'm ready, let go slide. Get a double dose of something good like apple pie. Fake friends in a trend, you know we don't like. This my brother right here, you know that we winning for life. And we gon' celebrate the moment, got you let it survive. Ride to the beat, now let me see ya. Come and join the fam, come and join in the fun. Love that you came close. Only destination is a good time. We making memories last an entire lifetime. Even the bad times, cause he get on my nerves, I try to act right. But that's my brother, I know. I wouldn't trade him for the world. No, it do not come close. You know the fam come first, never below. Yeah, we rise to the top, keep taking over. Yay! I hope that was a good take.
That's funny. Yeah, that's on the mixtape. Y'all get that out. I don't have a verse for Selena, so
that's all right.
I'm not gonna do that. But I do have a verse off a song we did a little while ago called Fake Friends, which is actually out on all platforms. So if you like the verse, y'all go check it out. All right. It's been a while, so I'm going to try to remember it. All right, here we go. I ain't got time for the fake, no. I ain't got time to hate, no time to date, no time to go to waste, no time to debate, and definitely we ain't got time to wait. I put mess on layaway, so why worry about what everybody got to say? If we all got a reason, but nobody believing, we really ain't making no change. So what I got to do, because I'm real with mine, I don't know about you. Getting loose like a tooth, and if you pull too hard, you might yank that root. It's not what I want to do. Nah, I'm not trying to get too deep, but you know, just like I know, everybody like things in 3D. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with cutting people off. To cut your losses is a blessing that can take you far. You know they say you don't know what you lost until it's gone. So why not use that as a positive and keep moving on? Because I know that when I switched my circle, I started to feel accepted. Released all my fake friends and now I'm inheriting excellence. If there's one thing that I know that I ain't got time for no fake friends. There we go. Appreciate it. So, but like I said, that's out. The mixtape is out. We appreciate you guys for coming out tonight and being part of the podcast. The next episode is in 2 weeks. Same time, same location. Make sure you guys follow the YouTube page and subscribe there, and then follow the Instagram. That's where we update most of our stuff.
Really exciting news. Me and my brother are dropping a new song literally every week between him and I. So Titus just released his single. It's called 4 Walls. I just dropped a single called Wishy Washy. So it's out on all platforms, y'all. Literally, yes, it's out on all platforms. Spotify, Apple Music, all the music platforms. Make sure that y'all listen to that. Another thing is too, speaking of music, we got our very brand new album called Versatility that's dropping in March 17th. So y'all make sure. Is that your birthday? Okay, listen y'all. Versatility is dropping on Daniel's birthday, March 17th. Let's go. Okay? So, happy birthday present. You got, new music, you know what I'm saying? But you guys make sure to catch all the Sis N Lil Broments episodes on YouTube. You gotta subscribe to our YouTube channel, and it's at Sis N Lil Bro, SIS, the letter N, LILBRO, Sis N Lil Bro. Follow us on social media at We Sis N Lil Bro on everything. So it's a wrap, y'all.
Yeah, thank you.
You know what our name is, we go by Sis N Lil Bro. Sis N Lil. Sis N Lil Bro. Sis N Lil, Sis N Lil, Sis N Lil Bro.